Hi, I'm Angela and welcome to my baking video. Today I'm going to be making chocolate orange cupcakes. I'm going to be using a mixture of recipes, so I'm actually using a chocolate cupcake recipe, and then I'm going to be making some orange buttercream icing and then adding some cherry chocolate orange on top. Okay, so today the ingredients you are going to need are 110 grams of softened butter, 110 grams of sugar, which is equal to half a cup, 2 eggs, 110 grams of self-raising flour or 1 cup, 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a tablespoon of cocoa powder. I just put it in that cup because it fitted, not because that's the right amount. But yeah, so those are all the ingredients you need for the cake part, and I'll include the ingredients for the buttercream later. So basically, to start the recipe, it does say to put all the ingredients in together, however I always like to cream my butter with my sugar and then add all the rest of the ingredients, so that's what I'm going to do. You can either do this by hand or you can use an electric whisk. Let me just scoop up that butter. There we go. Add my sugar. So this should make about 12 cupcakes, but they do come out a nice decent size. So I'm going to just cream this together. I don't know if I said before, I am using an electric whisk, but you can also use a hand mixer if you, just a wooden spoon if you don't have a hand mixer or a KitchenAid or something like that. I always used to use a wooden spoon, but now I've gotten this since we moved. It's so much easier. So I'm going to add in my flour. There we go. And then I'm going to add 1 egg. There we go. I'm going to mix that in and then add the next egg. So that's mostly mixed in. As you can see, I've gotten flour everywhere. And now I'm going to add my second egg. And that goes, and then continue to mix it. Okay, so that's mixed in now, so I'm just going to add my baking powder and my cocoa powder. When you're sure it's all mixed in, move a whisk and I like to scrape down the sides. I'm just going to scrape these down because you've still got a bit of the plain coloured mixture on the edges, so you just want to make sure you're getting it all nice and chocolatey. Put that bit there. And give it one nice mix. Now that's all mixed in, I'm going to grab my pre-lined tin. So I've got a 12 bun tin and I just put some cupcake cases in there. So let me just take these out and get chocolate all over myself. There we go. Pop that to the side. Right. Now to do this, I always like to get sort of like a dessert spoon and then like a little teaspoon, and I just scoop it in. So if I pop this here, so scrape down your mixers or your wooden spoon, just to make sure you're getting all that chocolatey mix out. Right, so I would like just to give it a little mix with my spoon again, just to make sure I have definitely got it all. And then I get sort of like a decent size on my spoon and just pop it in and try and make sure that the case is as flat as possible so that it doesn't end up all going to one side. I probably are need to always do this to make sure you get an even amount in each case, but where's the fun in that? There we go. Just make sure you get all that mixture out. I used to always stretch the recipe, but then I found my cupcakes were getting smaller and smaller, so I now stick to the 12 guide. Just making sure they've all got a nice even amount in them. I think this last one's going to be a bit of a scrape by. These are quite big cases that I'm using though, and they're from Aldi. They are slightly bigger than the one cases I usually use, and so they don't sit massively well in my bun tin, but they're pretty, so. Right. That little bit in there. Then what I like to do is just go around, just make sure you've sort of filled in all the gaps. Try and get the cases to sit as flat as possible, because that will help make sure your cake looks nice and well risen. That'll do. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a perfectionist about these things. So once you've got them all ready in their little cases, you want to preheat an oven to 170 degrees on a fan oven, and then you want to pop them in for about 20 minutes until they're risen and bounce back to the touch. Okay, so it's about 20 to 25 minutes later. Just going to check the oven has just gone off. Oh, it smells so good. Ooh, I can get them out of the oven. So, pop them in here and I think them. Yeah, I think they're done. They're nice and springy to the touch. And they look yummy and smell amazing as well. So, I'm just going to leave them on the tray just to cool for a little while, because when you put the buttercream on you don't want them to be warm because it'll just start to melt and go all disgusting. So make sure you turn your oven off, and then now we'll start getting everything ready for the icing. So this is what you sort of want them to be looking like Honestly, if you could have smell-o-vision right now, it would be amazing. So nice and chocolatey. They're all nice and like, it goes with that angle. See, they're all nice and like domed, and they just spring back to the touch. So yeah, all good to go. So for the icing, you'll need 3.5 ounces of butter, which I've left out to soften up. We've got 7 ounces of icing sugar. We've got some Terry's chocolate orange segments just to pop on top. Then we've got some orange extract, just for a little bit of flavouring, and then some orange food colouring. This stuff is really strong, so you only want a tiny little bit of it. I then got my piping bag in a cup ready, so I can just pop all the icing in there and just to help push it all down. I've got a star nozzle on there, which I'll show you later. So what I'm going to do first, pop my butter into the bowl. I like to use a large metal spoon to do this. So I've got my big metal spoon, and I just sort of like to break it up a little bit. I did used to use the electric whisker to do it, but the icing sugar just goes everywhere. So I basically just really mash the butter up, get it really like soft, and so it's a bit more pliable. So this just helps to mix it in with your icing sugar basically. Then what I do is just add in a little bit of icing sugar at a time, just so that you don't get icing sugar everywhere basically. And I've sort of like made up the quantities that I use for icing sugar, just because I find, or for better icing, because I just find a lot of recipes use things like cream in it, which I'm not a massive fan of, because then you should really keep them sort of in the fridge. And often a lot of recipes make a massive amount of buttercream, and you just end up throwing most of it away. Like, this is possibly at the larger side of the amount of buttercream I would usually make. But it's definitely enough to do the 12 cupcakes, that's for sure. So just keep working in the icing sugar into the butter, and it will start to come together. If you want to, if your icing's a bit dry and you're finding it's difficult and it's not coming together, you can always add a little bit of milk, and it will just help the process along. And it can just make it a bit looser if you feel it's too thick, really. So that bit of icing sugar I've added in has now started to, has pretty much all come together. So I'll add the rest now. Ready for the cloud of icing sugar. So then now I'm going to add just a small teaspoon of the orange extract. This will just help to give it a nice orangey flavour. It won't be too strong, because most of the time I usually add a teaspoon of vanilla extract to my buttercream, but this will just help to give it a nice orangey flavour. So pop that over there, and then just start mixing in. This smells amazing now. Just smell the orange, it's lush. So stir this in. Just keep working it through with the butter. Definitely a good workout for your arms making buttercream. That's all pretty much in now. Although it is a little bit stiff, so I may do what I said earlier and just add a little drop of milk. So literally just a little splash of milk will just help to loosen it up a little bit. Probably like a teaspoon maximum you want in there, just to help just loosen it up. Sorry for making loads of noise. Well, it's a bit more workable now. So now it's all nice and mixed in, all nice and soft consistency. You want to add your food colouring. Don't know what that was in my drawer then. You want to add your food colouring. So literally on the edge of a knife, I literally just use this to cut the butter up earlier. You want to grab, God, I think that's a bit too much. Literally like the tiniest little bit. And I'm going to just, I think that might even be too much. So I'm going to use half, which looks like a really stupid amount to put in, but it goes very, very orange. I shall show you. And you don't, the thing is, I don't really want it to look like fluorescent, which I think is what these are going to look like now. Because, yeah, that is taken up the colour really well. As I said, these sugar fair ones are so good. They make the icing take colour with very little dye needed. They're so good. I swear by them now. I rarely ever buy any other food colourings. They are a little bit more on the expensive side, but then they last so long because you have to use so little. I've had that probably since like about a year, and I've still got loads left because you literally need like the tiniest little pinch to get your food colouring. Right, I think, oh, this smells so nice and orangey. I really love citrusy flavoured things like orange and lemon cakes and things. It's so nice and refreshing. Okay, so that's all mixed in now, and as you can see, it's really nice and orangey. So that little amount was literally all we needed. I didn't even end up using the whole bit that I pulled out in the end, so I'll pop the lid back on the food colouring. And then what I'm going to start doing is just basically putting it into my bag. Let me get a... So I'm going to use like a palette knife sort of thing just to help ease putting it into the bag. This is always the really tricky bit and you end up getting stuff everywhere. But that's why I always put mine in a cup, because it kind of just tends to hold its shape then. So you literally just want to, might be easier if I use that too. Just pop it in there. So scrape out your whole bottle. Even though this doesn't actually look like that much buttercream, it will be more than enough for them. If you don't have a piping bag or a piping set or anything like that, you can always just spread it on. I sometimes do because my partner has quite sensitive teeth, so he doesn't like a lot of buttercream, so he'll often like scrape it off. So sometimes I will make less buttercream and just use a knife and just sort of spread it on really. It's also a good thing if you're slightly running out of ingredients and you haven't got enough. Let me pop that over to the side. I'm doing my cakes over here, so they're in front. And then what you're going to do is just take that out there and just shake that and then just keep pushing until we get it right down to the nozzle. So basically, I bought these bags off of eBay or Amazon, quite cheap. They're disposable just because I think it's so much easier than having to wash them out, especially with buttercream. It's so greasy to like clean out. So basically I put my nozzle in there. So I've got a star nozzle and I basically just put it in and then just chopped around the edge to take it off, but you can use whatever nozzle you want. I just quite like this one. So we're going to go with that one today. So I pushed it all right down, let's get it right through into the nozzle. So you want to just twist your bag around to create quite a nice pressure. So today I'm going to try, let's get right to the end, I'm going to do some flower shapes. So I tend to find it's easiest to start in the middle and work your way out. So let's see how this. Oh no. So by no means am I a very good icer, but that's kind of my first attempt. This is the first time in a while that I've actually done any proper icing. So what I'm going to do then is just pop that in there. Now that's probably one of the smallest cupcakes I probably could have chosen to show you, but yeah, so I'll get on with the rest and show you the finished result. There we go, so I think that's enough icing on all of them. I've got a little bit of icing left, but you can do whatever you want to do with the rest of the icing. Right, so then, let me just get them in a bit of a better shot. Right, so then now we're going to just add on our little Terry's chocolate orange. You could always do shavings of Terry chocolate orange if you wanted to, or a half of a Terry's chocolate orange, whatever takes your fancy. I just happen to have 12 pieces left of my Christmas Terry's chocolate orange that I haven't got around to eating yet, so I thought why not use them as a decoration. They also help to cover up any mistakes that you make. Obviously if you manage to get a really good flower on them or whatever, then you want to show it off. But yeah, I haven't iced in a while, so that's what they'll look like then at the end. And they smell amazing. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have enjoyed my video, and I'll be back with some more baking. Let me know in the comments if you like the cakes as well. Thank you, bye!